Adam, great evening on Tuesday night down at Solihull. You said, I think, in the post-match that a performance like that has been coming. How delighted were you that it did come on Tuesday night?
Really enjoyed the performance, and it was nice to get some goals to top it off. And I thought we created a lot. I thought it was nice and patient at times with our play, and yeah, just pleased for the players for their hard work and their efforts that they managed to get some goals and get a little bit of a reward for the performance this time.
I know you're good friends with Andy Wing. I take it you had a few minutes with him after the game at some point. Did he say anything to you about your side of your performance?
It was more, we both sort of, by the time we sort of done our press, both of us and stuff, I didn't get to chat too much. He sent me a nice message this morning that I picked up, just complimentary of how we played, and yeah, I mean, really nice to get. Obviously, he had an unbelievable season last season, and he'll be looking to put things right and get back on track, and to get to Wembley twice for him in his sort of first full season, I think, at this sort of level. So I'm real for him, and I'm sure he'll put things right at Solihull, and he's a good guy, really good guy, and well, I've much respect for him. So when you get a nice complimentary message from someone like that, it means a lot.
24 points, I think it is, after 11 games. At the start of the season, if we'd told you you'd have 24 points after 11, just one defeat with your new look squad, would you have thought we were being a little bit silly, or did you think that was a realistic target, that you could start the season as well as you have done?
Yeah, I'm always one to sort of put pressure on myself, and 33 points would have been the target after 11 games. So that's how my outlook on it, really. So yeah, I always try to aim high, keep standards nice and high, and work towards that goal. And yeah, but I think the pleasing thing for me, one thing I think I would have been astonished at is the amount of clean sheets. My teams generally are quite open, expensive, and not as tight at the back as what we have been. So really pleased with that. And if you had said going into our 12th game we've got an opportunity to keep 8 clean sheets, then I've been very shocked at that. And it's an area of our game that we're really pleased with.
What do you put that down to then? The quality of players you've got at the back, the coaching, the understanding that players have taken from you so quickly. What do you put it down to? Because it has been sensational.
Got to be the players. As much as we want to take the plaudits as coaches, it's 100% down to them. They're the ones out there performing, and how they've defended the box the last couple of games in particular has been excellent. Obviously, the great work that Gary does with the defensive unit, and Joe Stead with the goalkeepers can't go unnoticed as well. So really pleased they get their rewards. We've got into a good routine of them working as a unit on a Friday, which seems to be working well for us. So, a mixture of the both, but I think ultimately it's the players performing and the desire that they've got to keep the ball out of the net.
As we mentioned before as well, it's the players moving positions. Ryan, centre back, right back, Joe, right back, left back, now in midfield, and Malachi coming in having had no pre-season with the rest of your squad. It just seems to have clicked so much for whatever reason that is.
It does, and I think Malachi, since he's come in, has formed a really good partnership with Callum. Callum and Ryan, I thought all pre-season had a really good partnership, and then to have someone that can play as well as he does in a variety of positions in Joe Felix is massive to have as well. Cam John has done well at left back for us as well, so we've got some really good options in those areas, but that partnership with Malachi and Callum Howe has definitely looked to have shored us up a little bit. I don't think we was leaking many goals before he come in, but definitely we've got all the makings of a top partnership.
So Eastleigh now. Eastleigh came here last season. I presume you'd be hoping this Saturday not only is a different result, but maybe not quite as lively, shall we say, as it was that afternoon.
Really am hoping that that's the case. Definitely, I think they come in and done a bit of a job. They've got a lot of players behind the ball. I think we had 2 sending-offs. I think there was Xander and Ryan on the day, and then probably a bit of a mistake from a set piece on our behalf as well. So they got their 1-0 win, and travelled away very happy with the 3 points, and hoping for a different test. I think it's a different side that they're coming up against this year. Hoping that the support will be there behind us, and we can really try and hit our same performance levels. That's the key thing. We perform well, but we set a very high standard in the game on Tuesday, and we want to try and keep the bar at that level.
A different York City side, but not that different. An Eastleigh side that's still got lots of the players that were there last season. Have you been able to put your finger on why they've started the season so well, having struggled for lots of last year? I think they're the favourites to go down with some bookmakers at the start of the season, or definitely amongst them.
Yeah, I think Calvin's got to take a lot of plaudits for that, how they started, and he's got them playing his sort of style now. I'm not surprised. Got good people there at the heart on a day-to-day running the club. Good management structure. So we know it's they've got a lot of firepower, a lot of good players at the top end of the pitch. They're relatively sound defensively as well, which is a good combination to have. We know we're going to have to be our best, and that's our challenge. Not all games are going to be comfortable. We know that we've got to be prepared and ready, and players have got to be prepared to step up to the plate when the games are difficult, and be prepared to take it under pressure. And I think this Saturday's going to be one of them. So we're hoping for consistent performance, and if we perform like we did on Tuesday, it'll be a good game, and that's all we're trying to focus on.
Yeah, McCallum, Maguire's played at a much higher level as well up in Scotland. They do have some dangerous players going forward, especially.
Certainly do. Rochdale, went to their place, and it was a really good game just recently. They're a real threat from set pieces. Got players that can attack the ball. Long throws are going to come in the box. They're not just that type of side, but they do that really well as well. So it's an area of the game that we know we're going to have to be 100% ready for and on our game at. We've got to be prepared for this challenge. It's going to be a tough challenge, and like I say, they've got some really good firepower.
Let's look at your side then. First of all, how's Ashley Nathaniel George? You got any update on him?
Hasn't had a scan on off him, but Sam, the physio's had a look, and he's relatively pleased that it won't be nothing too sinister. Probably 2 weeks before he can train, and then maybe 3 weeks for selection for Ashley. So I think when you see a player come off with a hamstring injury, you're happy with them kind of odds coming back the other way. So he's in a good place, and we're hoping that we'll have him back out on the grass sooner rather than later.
Dan Batty?
He's back training today. So what's that been now? He's Friday before, wasn't it? So it's been good, nearly coming up to 2 weeks out for Dan. So we'll see how he reacts after today's session. This is his first proper session out on the grass, but he's come through it today. He seems okay. We'll see how he recovers tomorrow. But we'll have to have a look at it, speak to Ollie and Sam, and see what the best protocol would be for Dan. Obviously, nearly 2 weeks without training, and then coming into such a tough fixture, we'll have to have a look at it.
I presume he was quite frustrated as well, because he was one of the 3 or 4 at the time who hadn't been players that hadn't been rotated, and he was playing so well that no player who's in that team week in, week out will want to get injured, because as has shown, since he's not been in there, you've done really well still again, and now it is a fight for him to get his position back.
It is, and that's, I think, when you've got a good squad and a good team, that a player was doing so well at the start of the season. I think he was basically in the National League Team of the Week near on every week, so he was a regular starter in that as well. So he was performing to a really high level. And it's the challenge of the players that do have the shirt to try and keep these players out and not make it easy for them. And they've certainly done that. And yeah, there's some real big selection problems, if you like, and that's how you want it as a manager. You much prefer these difficult decisions having to make going into a Friday and going into the game on a Saturday, and we have a big decision to make with them.
Asking about a couple of other players, Dipo Akinyemi, have you had to have a sit down with him and explain why he's playing more often than not wide left rather than I presume that he'd want to play down the centre? He always looks happy when he's out there and he comes off the pitch with a smile on his face, but is he slightly frustrated that he's not been played in what most people would suggest is his better position?
I don't think so. I haven't had to have that conversation. Like I say, he seems happy at the moment. I had a proper couple of weeks where he was picking up niggling injuries and didn't get to training much, and that was difficult for him. But he seems a lot more settled. He's getting regular training into him, and that'll really benefit him. And I thought we saw signs of what he can produce. And I think he was such a threat from the wide areas for us last season. I just like how Ollie drops in and links up the play, and that's probably not Dipo's game. He's probably more of a runner in behind and playing off the shoulder, and there'll be games where we need that, and there'll be games where we need Ollie to drop in and link up the game a bit more. So we've got variety in the styles of different strikers, and the fact that he can play so well off of each wing as well really adds something for us.
I was wondering how he was going from coming in last summer and being sort of like the big name signing and the man who was going to get all the goals for York City, to now having not got the score sheet so far this season. That, for any striker, they want goals, don't they? They live off goals. They
do, any forward players, and I think it's getting quite congested now in terms of just the York City top goal scorer. I think we've got Ollie and Ash on 3, obviously Len on 4, and Ricky's on 2, Marv's on 2. So there's someone missed their tie's got 2 now from the other night. So it's hotting up a little bit, and it's good that a lot of our forward players are getting on the score sheet and contributing to that, and you want that. And we know that Dips is going to definitely chip in with some goals for us as well between now and the end of the season, and we hope that can come on Saturday. But if not, as long as he's working hard for the team and giving his all, then we know we've got a really talented player on our hands.
Is there that friendly rivalry and banter between the players to see who can be the leading scorer? Because I suppose you've got to balance it out with, you don't want people thinking about it during games if they've got a better option alongside them instead of taking on the shot when they should square the ball. That's
right, yeah, you just want them to choose the best option for the team, and I thought Lenny sort of implementing that brilliantly with his square pass for Tyrese for the 3rd goal. It was a tricky pass that he made look easy, really, and that's what you want them just to take the best decision for the team. Cam Morrison has set up a little bit of friendly rivalry in training sessions, so he puts a stats and percentage of goals scored in training, and there's a little leaderboard that comes out every now and again to keep them on their toes. I think actual percentage of goals might have even been Lenny, and then the actual who scored the most goals was Ollie, something along them lines. So between them all, it keeps it friendly, but also it adds a bit of pressure to it. You want to be at the top of there. So in training, you don't want them just taking it easy. You want them to put a bit of pressure on themselves, and Cam's found a way that keeps them integrated in the session and fully invested in it, but also a bit of pressure in there as well.
One of the players, Paddy McLaughlin, not part of your matchday squad on Tuesday, hasn't had a start, has played only a bit part role so far this season. Now, I presume if he was maybe 10 years younger, you may be looking for him to go out on loan to get some game time. Would that be the case with Paddy, with all his experience, or are you happy just to keep him as a member of this squad?
Yeah, he's invaluable. Just to have him on the bench with us on Tuesday was really important. Like I say, drive standards is such a key figure to training, role model. But I know Paddy, he'll want to feature more. That's in his nature. He's a winner. He's a professional footballer at the end of the day, and being a professional, you want to play. It's like training, but you want to play on a Saturday. So, I had that conversation with Paddy today, and just said there's going to be times throughout the season where we're going to need a bit of steel, a bit of experience, and he'll come into his own then. So at the moment, we're probably trying to, give the younger players that we brought to the club, who we see probably a bit more of a long-term future for at the club, their opportunity, and let them make mistakes and come in and out of the team. But Paddy will still have a big part to play. When pitches get a bit torn up and they're not at their best, and you need a bit more experience, a bit more steel, then I think Paddy will come into his own then.
Leviando's come back from his loan at Darlington. Is he injured at the minute? Is that part of the reasoning behind that? Yeah,
he's got a bit of an injury at the moment. Him, Xander and Thierry are all back with Sam. Picked up a few knocks and stuff. So with them all, we don't think it's anything too sinister. We'll see with Xander with his knee, just tweaked the inside of his knee. So we're hoping it's nothing too severe. Thierry's back running and stuff now, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a long-term problem with Thierry. And Levy, we're just back from injury, so we'll get them all back up to speed and see where we are, see where the squad's at, and if it means them going out again and getting more game time, then obviously they're a bit younger and need that experience, need that game time to improve as players.
What is Levy's injury? Except reading the reports, he seems to have been doing quite well at Darlington.
Yeah, he was, so Xander was his knee, I think Thierry was his hamstring. I just think it was a bit of a knock on his ankle. I don't think it's nothing too sinister with Levy. But yeah, he's obviously missed a lot of football and then come back into playing regular. And with that, you've kind of pick up slight problems here and there, but I don't think it's nothing to do with his back that kept him out a long part of last season.
Finally, you can feel the momentum building around this side, around the city, around people just on social media talking about York City. Can you feel that building, and hopefully there'll be a huge crowd that come to support you on Saturday? Obviously living in the city and trying to get out there as often as you can to experience it, you do feel it a little bit, but ultimately when it comes to game time, we're fully focused on the job in hand, and it's nice. You want that. That's what we want to try and generate around the place. For lads that probably live out of it, probably don't feel it as much as us that are living in the mix and right inside York. And it's a nice place to be. It's a bit of a taste of what can be achieved at this club, and we've started well and want to try and maintain that. Okay, thank you.
Hi Adam.
Hiya.
A really impressive 3-0 victory on Tuesday night. Is it almost unimaginable to imagine that sort of performance and result compared to 5 months ago when you went to Solihull on the last day of the season?
Yeah, obviously squad's changed quite a bit, and the style of play and everything that we've implemented has changed a bit since then. And that last game of the season, if you said we're going to go back to that same venue and win 3-0, and in the manner we did with the performance level that we did, then even I'm the most optimistic person, but would have struggled to believe you. So really pleased with how we've progressed and how we're moving on. But like I say, we just want to keep standards and maintain standards and keep our performance levels as high as we possibly can.
If my maths is correct, it's now been 5 hours, I believe, since York City last conceded a goal. How happy are you with that? Because people don't usually look at Adam Hinshelwood's sides and think clean sheets, think of goals. So that must be a massive compliment to yourself.
Delighted, and compliment really to the players. They've defended the box brilliantly. There's a real togetherness, and from the goalkeepers to the defenders to the whole team, it's something that we want to take pride in. It'd be a massive statement. 8 clean sheets from 12 games. That's what's up on offer for us, and we want to do all we can to try and maintain that. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. We've got some really good firepower, but it's a great place to be and a good challenge and a really good record that we want to try and maintain.
back on home soil on Saturday. How excited are you to be back to the LNER? Because it feels like, again, it's been ages.
It does feel like that for some reason. Obviously, back-to-back away games can have that, but yeah, a couple of weeks since we was last here, and really looking forward to it. We look forward to performing in front of our home fans, and like I say, there's a bit of a buzz generated at the moment, and it's nice to feel that, and you want to be part of that, and yeah, we want to try and maintain that for as long as we can.
And with all that positivity, how important is it that that sort of goes towards making the LNER something of a fortress for your players?
Exactly what we want to try and create. I think, like any manager will say, that you want that from your home ground, and with the support that we get here, we definitely feel that we can do that. But you know, it's ultimately down to us to perform and deliver. It's all right talking about it, but you know, we've got to perform and deliver when it matters.
Looking at our team news, Adam Crooks, how was he responding to that setback which he had?
Yeah, really good. He's back with his boots on. He joined in the training sessions today, so I think he's probably 2 weeks from joining in fully. He's just in tight area sessions. He can't fully open up on his hamstring yet in big distances, but the tight area stuff he's coming through well. So we'll do that for a couple of weeks, and then we'll look to open him up a little bit. So yeah, really pleased to have Crooksy and Dan Batty back in training today. Was really good for the group.
And Darragh O'Connor, how's he recovering?
He's had the results back, and it's a bit more severe than what we anticipated. So, you know, I think we're looking for another couple of months before Darragh will be back training with us, which is a big blow, obviously. But yeah, he'll do all he can and work tirelessly. He's a real good professional and a good person to have around the training ground. So. Yeah, we're hoping that he'll be back sooner rather than later.
I think one of the main sort of stories from the last two matches, potentially the involvement of Mo Federa. How happy were you being since he'd come from, obviously moving up from non-league, lower down in a way, part-time football with Garforth, moving into that York environment? How's he sort of coped with that?
Done brilliantly. He's been training with us. Obviously, you've seen him perform in the last couple of games, but he's probably been training with us for about a month now. So we had a good look at him for a couple of weeks and saw the potential, saw the improvement in him. And I think that's only going to get better. You know, I put really high demands on Mo, and you know, he's one that I think's got real potential. So you know, make sure his standards are kept nice and high, and that's where having Lenny and Paddy and training as well. It's like me driving it, but when you've got your teammates doing it as well, really helps. So I'm really happy with how he's progressing, and you know, if we can try and get the potential that I believe he's got, then I think we've got a real talented player on our hands.
Does it help him having some experienced wingers in there as well, the likes of Callum Harry, Ash and Nathaniel George, players who have played either at a higher level or national level for many years? Does it help him? Are they able to put an arm around him and sort of just guide him in what to do?
It does. I mean, I think there's a bit of rivalry there because they all want to start the game, don't they? But ultimately, they're good people, and you know, want to see Mo do well. So none of them lads, if Mo was to go and ask a question about certain things in his position, would hesitate to help him out. You know, we know we've got a really potentially a really talented player on our hands, and you know, it's down to us all to you know, get the best out of him. And you know, he started well. He's had a couple of good moments in games when he's come on, and you know, the next thing I'm sure he'll be looking like any player, any professional, looking to get that next start and that first start and really show what he can do.
Last one for me. On Saturday, a planned minutes pause on the 23rd minute for Conrad, but the York City fan who unfortunately passed away. It's going to be something of an emotional day, isn't it?
Certainly is, yeah. You know, as a football club, we send all our condolences to Connor's family, and you know, I'm sure, yeah, it'd be a really emotional time for them and everyone in the ground. You know, it's a sad time, and we'll do all we can to pay the respects and the condolences that he deserves.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi Adam.
Hiya.
One of the best performances of the season, and 3 goals of really high quality. Importantly, as well, a mixture of individual brilliance and an absolutely superb team goal. How pleasing is that?
Really pleasing. Like I say, I was really pleased with the performance. I thought we dominated large bits of possession, but with that, it wasn't just possession. There was some purpose behind it, and we got into the final third lots. We created lots of good chances, and if anything, we could have made it a bit more emphatic than the scoreline was. So, yeah, really pleased. We set a high level, and now it's down to us to keep some consistency to our performance and keep our levels there.
And with that third goal, you've got Harrison Mail sprinting the length of the pitch. Is that sort of emblematic of the whole team spirit?
Yeah, I think everyone's together. We all want the same thing. You know, Harrison has only on Saturday had to sit and watch Rory perform, and was fully behind him, and he gets his opportunity, and he takes it, and we're all together. And yeah, it's really pleasing to see. Feels like there's togetherness within the training ground, but you want to see it when it really matters out on the pitch, and to see all players celebrating, everyone off the bench celebrating, makes it even more special.
And you've got 18 goals from, I believe, 8 different players, and the meanest defence in the National League, only 6 conceded. That must be music to your ears.
It is, like I say, good start, but that's all it is. We want to keep on working, keep on improving, keep on getting better. Like I say, it's a good standard, and we want to maintain that. We want to keep our training, our performance levels high. We're really proud of that record defensively, and we want to try and add more goals if we can, and that's our challenge.
Has Malachi got golden handcuffs, or if somebody higher comes for him, would they be able to take him?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, he's a York City player that's performing and playing well for us in terms of he's with us at the moment. So what happens in the future, I don't know. But for Malachi, he's a 22-year-old lad that's performing well in the first few games. So the key thing for him is to keep his consistency and keep performing to those levels, and not let any complacency feature in his game. And I think he's got some good role models and good experienced players around him, and a good partner in Callum Howe to really learn from. And at the moment we just focus on how we can improve him all the time he's with us.
The other end of the pitch as well, it must be exciting for you to see individual players now start to play to their potential. Obviously Nathaniel George sadly out for a couple of weeks, but Sinclair with the brace as well. Yeah,
definitely. Ty and Ash, know the ability that they've both got. I thought Billy Chadwick had a really good game as well. He takes the ball in tight areas good, Bill, and a real confidence player. And hopefully Tuesday night's game will do him a lot of good. And Dippo now starting to really play with a smile on his face and enjoy his football again. And and I thought Ollie Pearce, although he didn't get the goals, I thought his performance was excellent. I thought his movement was clever. He drops in really well, which creates space, like the first goal for Ashley to get him behind, and worked his socks off. And it was nice to see the fans applaud Ollie's work rate second half. He really worked the back four and the goalkeeper really well, and it was nice for the fans to appreciate that.
Now, Eastleigh started like an express train, 4 consecutive wins beginning of the season, but they've lost their last 3 away matches. But they've got something to prove, haven't they, coming here? They'll see top of the table York, and they'll be wanting to spoil the party.
Of course they will, yeah, and they'll have a lot of confidence having come here last season with the same management team and getting the result. So we know it's a tough game. We're under no illusions about that. We're not getting carried away by our position in the table. Like I say, we've set some high standards lately, and we just want to try and maintain that.
It could be argued that some of City's best performances have been away. Is there almost a performance anxiety at home because you've got all the huge expectations of a home crowd?
Maybe one for the players, that one, but I don't think so. I don't sense that. I think I want us to enjoy playing here at home, and obviously it's a big stadium, it's a big club, and a big support, and away fans really do relish that as well. So we've got to pay the opposition some credit as well, because they are going to raise their game. It's one of the best stadiums in the National League. It's one of the biggest crowds in the National League. So obviously teams are going to raise their game, and it's down to us to raise our game as well.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.